In today's tutorial, we're going to be making a swim diaper. So for this tutorial, you can use like a basic diaper cover pattern, or pocket diaper pattern, or something that's got gussets on it. And also you want the fit of your cover to be on the snug side. So if you're between sizes, you want to size down for a swim diaper. While swim diapers can be composed of a variety of materials and combinations, for this one we are going to be using PUL for the outer, and then some athletic mesh. And we're using athletic mesh against the body because you want something that's going to wick the moisture away from the skin. You don't want to have like a natural fiber like cotton or bamboo next to your skin when you're going to be in the water, because that's going to get saturated and feel really uncomfortable. And then I have one layer of 3D Zorb for my absorbency, just because this is actually, I'm making this for my son, and this is because I don't want him to pee on me before we get into the water. So, and then we have our gussets. Again, we're going for a really snug fit, and so we want to have gussets to ensure that any solids stay captured. And then 3/8 inch elastics, and I'm using 3/4 inch fold over elastic, though you could also use 1 inch fold over elastic for your gussets. Alright, so let's get sewing. The first step that we're going to do is we are going to pin the absorbency to the wrong side of the lining fabric. And now I'm just using one layer. If you have a serger, you could serge or zigzag stitch around this, but you don't have to. And while we're at it, we are going to go ahead and pin the fold over elastic to the gussets. Yeah, so when you sew this, you're going to want to get it started really good, and then you're going to pull it, making sure the edge is tucked under, and then you'll just 3-step zigzag down the elastic there. Alright, and lastly we're going to add our Velcro. Just want to keep in mind when you place your Velcro that we're going to be turning and top stitching around this, so I want to make sure that there's enough space for that. So we have our lining sewn down here, and as you can see, you know, I left about 1/4 inch around, so you want to leave enough space that you can get a nice flat stitch. And then I've got my gussets, so I used the 3-step zigzag, and then I've got my loop tape sewn down, and you can see I added a stitch down the middle. Alright, so our next step is going to be to pin these right sides together, and we're going to sew around the perimeter of the diaper. And you're going to want to leave a little space for turning and top stitching. So I like to leave my space for turning up at the front. I do have this little piece that we're gonna do here, so I like to have my space right here because there's elastic on all the others, and turning out a corner is not fun. So let's just get these clipped down. So now that we've got that stitched around, we're going to add our elastics. So I'm gonna stitch this down through between my elastic marks. Here, here, and then along the back waist. Alright, so we got our elastic on, and then I went ahead and trimmed around the edges. You could also clip the corners. I find it's faster just to trim around. Just make sure that you don't accidentally cut over your stitch line, otherwise you'll have to re-stitch that. Alright, so next we are going to turn this right side out. And now we're just going to pin our edge closed that we turned from, and we will top stitch around the entire outside of the diaper. Almost done. So next we're going to do our gussets. So as you can see, this part is wider than this part, so this part is going to be the one that goes down here. And so the first thing we want to do is just kind of trim this so you have a nice curve. I'll trim this a little too. Alright, and then at this point, if you wanted to, you could serge around this to create a flatter edge. Line this up with your gusset mark. I'm just going to go ahead and pin this. And then, see, I'm pinning the wrong side to the right side of this, right along the stitch line here. Because if you stitch over this elastic, it's going to stretch it out. So you want to make sure that you don't catch your elastic as you are stitching. So we got the first one serged on there, and I'm just going to trim my little flap here. So we got our edges trimmed here, and if I had serged this, it would look a little bit cleaner. But as you can see, it still works just perfectly fine if you don't have a serger. Now we have our gussets, and so the last step is going to be to put the loop tape or the hook tape on the wings. All right, and we are done. So we got our hook tape on and a little piece of loop tape for a laundry cap. So when you throw it in the laundry, you just clip it over like that. Oh, there we have it, and it is all ready to go. If you are interested in a pattern for adults, my adult pocket diaper pattern is, can be modified just like these instructions.